Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What? You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What? I'm not ready for you. Give me a hell yeah.
We are back again, and better than ever. Welcome, everyone, to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be, and however you may be listening. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, all those great places. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I am joined, as always, by Chris Kirby.
Of course you're joined by me. It's my house.
Yeah. Fair points. If I wasn't joined by you, that might be cause for concern.
It'd be kind of weird.
I'll just stop by when no one's home.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll get you a key.
Yeah, so... God, it feels like forever, man. Like when you take 1 week off.
I know, all because of some damn football game.
You know... I might talk about it more when we're doing the outro and we do our random stuff, but it was so much fun. And it was so worth not doing a podcast. Sorry.
Wow. No wonder we don't have any votes or reviews.
I mean, I love this, but it was a nice vacation, even if it was just a few days. But, God, we had a lot of wrestling in that time frame.
Well, we've had, about 15, 17 hours worth?
Yeah, so we missed the Raw the week before this. We won't really get into that too much. We'll just go with TLC, the TLC pay-per-view, and the Raw and SmackDown proceeding that, which had some interesting discussion points, I guess.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. A lot of changes, which is very welcome. So, I guess we'll just get right into TLC. Did you watch the pre-show?
I did.
Did you? I did not.
Of course not.
Because normally I skim through it and just watch the matches, but I did not watch TLC until Tuesday, and at that point I knew I had 5 more hours after that, and the pay-per-view itself was already 4 hours.
Yeah.
But what was it? There was Elias and Lashley in a guitar on a pole match or something?
Yeah.
Or did they suspend the guitar above the ring?
I think it was above the ring. I can't quite remember. But it was up in the air.
But I heard in the review I did listen to, though, that I guess the rules were supposed to be that whoever gets the guitar can use it, but I guess it ended up being whoever got the guitar first won.
No, because Elias won the match.
Okay.
But then Lashley grabbed the guitar before he did and went to town.
Did Elias pin him?
Oh, no, I guess I was wrong. If I could learn how to read my own notes. He did get the guitar and win the match.
Okay. So that was...
And then...
So everything else was just after the match.
Yeah. And that's when Lashley and Leo did their normal bull crap and annoyed my TV screen to the point it almost threw up.
Yeah, we'll get into that more in the Raw review, too.
And then we had Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
On the pre-show. They're so
good match, I'm sure.
From what I watched, it was, but they're so low on my radar, I didn't even make a prediction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have thought that Murphy would have retained because he just won it a couple months ago.
And he did. It was a good match, really fast-paced.
Yeah.
Back and forth, but Murphy won.
Yeah, that's the good thing with them is they're letting them go more and just doing their own thing.
And I don't mind them being on the pre-show. Just because there's no reason for them to be on the main roster. On the main show, anyway.
Not without any proper
build. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, we saw it with Mustafa Ali now on SmackDown, and that I like what they're doing with him. I'll get into that.
Yeah, I do. We'll cover that because I was impressed.
Yeah, over the last 2 weeks, too.
Just on SmackDown.
Yeah. So, first match on the main card of TLC was the Mixed Match Challenge Finals, which you've watched this series more than I have.
I've watched every episode, both seasons.
I have watched
none.
Well, I did watch some in season 1.
Oh well, I don't know nothing here.
I did not watch. I did not watch a minute in season 2 because I didn't watch it because Michael Cole tried to show me how to use Facebook Watch, and it kind of weirded me out. So I just stayed away from it.
Halfway through, he stopped doing that.
Yeah. They just gave up and were like, you know what? Nobody's gonna watch this.
No, I mean they still told you, but they just didn't show it on camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I can deal with that. At least there's something going on besides me watching Cole trying to use technology.
Yeah. That's a 3-hour program. we have time to fill.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know that anyone would have thought at the beginning of this tournament that the finals would end up being Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox against R-Truth and Carmella.
I wouldn't have thought it last week before their matches.
Yeah, I guess the thought behind that was that the people they were facing, like, I don't even remember who both of them were against. But maybe Miz and Asuka.
One of them was Miz and Asuka.
Yeah, and they didn't want them to have to pull double duty on the pay-per-view, so that's why they went with those two.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. I mean, especially at the beginning when they first started doing the Mixed Match Challenge this season, like, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox were like a joke.
Yeah.
On the Raws. Like, they'd always get beaten by Bayley and Finn Balor
like Truth
every week.
And Carmella. They were the joke of SmackDown.
Yeah. But they were at least a funny joke.
Well, that's true. And if it wasn't for them coming out, though, there'd be no dance break.
Yeah. and that's essentially what this match was a dance break.
Pretty much, because it wasn't much of a match.
No, and it's so weird, too, that they put the stipulation on, like, midway through the tournament that the winners get the number 30 entrant in their respective Royal Rumbles.
But, I mean...
Which is something I've wanted them to do for, like, Survivor Series and, like, the tag matches.
The winners.
Yeah, to give it some sort of stakes.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea better than donating money to a charity, which, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing, too. But at least this way they have something they're actually fighting for.
Right.
Because last year, win or lose, your charity got money.
Right.
So here it's you lose, you go home, you win, you go to Royal Rumble number 30. And anywhere in the world you want.
Yeah.
Which we will go ahead and say...
R-Truth and Carmella won.
Yes, the fabulous...
Because if Mahalisha won, I don't know... I don't even know. Like, would Jinder have chosen, like, Punjabi? Yeah, Punjab, India, for him and Alicia to go to.
Well, it'd be better where R-Truth picked.
Yeah, so I think it's Charlie comes into the ring and interviews them after, and, like, she says that earlier in the day that both teams had to submit their destination for their vacation of choice, and Carmella is like surprised because like I guess she had no idea about this.
Where am I going?
R-Truth was just like, "Don't worry, I got it covered." And
I was not expecting this.
And he says that they are going to the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, anywhere in the world, and you go to Connecticut.
Yeah, where your company's headquarters is based.
Yeah, here you win the tournament, you can go anywhere in the world, and where do you go? Your boss's office.
Yeah,
Screw that.
And Carmelo was just like, building up anticipation, like, where is it, Paris, Rome?
Yeah.
And then after R-Truth said that, she kind of just had the look of, like, bruh, I'm not even surprised.
I know.
Which I thought was funny.
Yeah, what would be even better is if they have cameras with them when they go on their trip.
I was thinking about that, too. I think that'd be...
an extended WWE road ride-along.
They could do a ride-along or actually air it on television.
No, I mean air it on television as ride-along.
Okay.
Like a ride-along where, the cameras are stationary on the windows, and it's just their trip.
Yeah, and they just, like, look at all the...
And make it worth it. Let them leave from, like, Kansas. And make it a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
Well, that seems like a bit much. But
well, I mean, it's WWE, so you'd only get, like, 45 minutes a show.
Right,
they have, like, all these videos and shit they have to show.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of doing that.
I think it'd be fun.
We had the tag team triple threat match for the SmackDown tag team titles, featuring The Bar with Ice Shamey and the Usos and the New Day.
Imagine that. The only 3 teams on SmackDown.
Yeah. I mean, there's more.
Well, these are the only 3 that get on TV.
Yeah, and until this week.
I know. I wasn't going to say that yet.
Yeah, surprisingly. Do you have any notes about this match? I mean, I thought it was fine, but I didn't really jot much down.
I mean, we've talked about it before. It's the same 3 teams.
Yeah.
It's always good matches.
Yeah.
I never doubt the match. I'm just tired of seeing it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, other than that, yeah, it was a good match. I mean, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it was a real good way to, I'm going to say, open the pay-per-view. Because the Mixed Match Challenge just is not a real match to me.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that was on the main card.
I was too. I was expecting it to be a pre-show.
Yeah, but...
nothing major, though. I mean,
the Bar retain. I honestly didn't expect that.
I didn't either. I chose the Usos.
Yeah, I figured either Usos or New Day. I would have picked Usos.
I figured Usos, and then that would set up Usos and New Day for another month or 2 down the road. So there's like 5 or 6 more fights between them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the Bar do win with Sheamus pinning Xavier Woods on a brogue kick on that, it's kind of like a springboard that Woods does, but it's like he's on the outside and he puts his first foot onto the bottom rope and on the bottom rope on the inside of the ring, and then Sheamus caught him in the brogue kick out of that. That was a cool finish.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we'll see where they continue going with the Bar as champions. I don't know. It just seems like a weird run they've had with Big Show assisting them to win the titles and then anticlimactically turning on them in a pre-tape backstage segments.
Yeah.
And
then he disappeared.
And then I felt like in the weeks leading up to this, I felt like they were trying to tell the story that the Bar couldn't win without Big Show because they lost, I think 2 weeks in a row leading up to that. So that's what made me think that they were going to lose this, but they still managed to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised.
Yeah. So we had one of I liked this a lot. The Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman match.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, so
I was rooting for everybody.
So Corbin comes out and he has a Heath Slater as the referee.
Imagine that.
Yeah, which is someone we didn't cover Raw last week, but I've loved. Even though it's short last, I did really like Heath Slater in this role.
Mm-hmm.
As he was forced to do this and he doesn't want to, and there's this moral complication, but he's got kids and he needs the paycheck.
I got kids.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
What wrestler don't?
I feel like they should have done that earlier in Corbin's run, so you would have had that storyline play out longer
up a little bit
to this moment instead of it just being a couple weeks.
Yeah, a breaking point where Slater snaps.
Yeah,
that'd be.
Yeah, that would have made it better, but
that would have been a lot better.
At the same time, I did still enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah. It just makes me wonder: is Rhino going to go to SmackDown as a ref?
Probably.
I mean, could you imagine trying to move that ref out of your way?
Yeah, no kidding. So Baron cuts his promo. Corbin's been getting a lot of heat.
Yeah.
We didn't mention because it was the Raw before this one, but the Seth Rollins promo that he did on the opening of Raw the week before, where he basically said, yeah, Raw sucks and it's all Baron Corbin's fault.
That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, the week before this one. So yeah, last week. I guess I worded that weirdly. But yeah. So, and that's kind of the storyline they ran with, is that...
And it was true.
Well, it wasn't, though.
I thought a lot of it was.
Raw has sucked, but it's not Baron Corbin's fault.
No, but on the show...
In kayfabe,
it's supposed to be his fault.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, I feel like they just use that as, like, a scapegoat sort of thing. Like, okay, we hear you. We know our show sucks, but here's why it sucks, and now we fixed it.
Yeah. So instead of blaming all the writers, they're just going to put the blame on Corbin.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah. And
maybe he'll go back and take care of the writers.
So Heath starts to count out Braun, who does make his entrance at a count of 7.
Yep.
And says, that the thing about a TLC match is that there are no disqualifications, so he can have some help.
So, yeah.
And the first person they show is Apollo Crews outside the ring with a chair.
Where did people come from?
I guess in the crowd.
Because they didn't. Somewhere. The crowd didn't pop or anything. So it's just like the camera.
I don't know. Maybe they just came down the ramp. And didn't have the camera on them.
Were they all under the ring waiting?
Yeah, that could be too.
Which I could see being this early in the pay-per-view. I could see them all being under the ring.
Yeah.
Waiting to come out.
Even later in the show, they have...
Oh, yeah.
They have, like, a way to get you under the ring and waiting there.
That's why the ramp's, like, 14 feet in the air.
Yeah.
That way they can, crawl to the ring underneath.
Mm-hmm. So, cuts to Apollo with a chair, and then it goes to Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, who I was like, what do they have to be upset about? Corbin gave them multiple chances, and they won the tag team titles.
But that 2-on-3 match.
Yeah, but that's the reason they won. Because they pinned Drake Maverick.
No, I know. But, hey, you know what? It made for a good match.
It made for a fun segment. And then finally, Finn Balor, too, who's wrestled Baron Corbin like all of 100 times over the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And... they all come in. They all take their chair shots on Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to know everybody has a chair.
Yeah, everybody on the outside has a chair. And they beat up Corbin, and Corbin rolls out of the ring and retreats up the ramp and thinks that he's going to get away, but in comes the Kurt Angle music.
Yes.
And he also has a chair.
Well, not right away. He doesn't get the chair until he comes out on stage.
Okay.
He grabs one that's set up.
Okay. So yeah, he gets the chair, and he beats Corbin with the chair down the ramp and back into the ring.
Yeah.
All of them hit their finishers, which I guess Apollo's finisher is a frog splash. No one.
I don't know. He's never on TV long enough to see it.
He doesn't win enough matches for us to know that. And Angle finishes it with the Angle Slam, and Braun gently puts his foot on Baron Corbin, and Heath Slater, who I forgot to mention, he started the beatdown by taking off his referee shirt and throwing it in Corbin's face, and then punching him in the face.
And that's when everybody else got involved.
Yeah. So then at this point, Heath gets the referee shirt back, and puts it back on and counts the 3.
And if you notice, while he struggles to put that shirt back on. It caught up or something.
They were helping him put it on.
Get that shirt on quick.
Yeah, I did notice that.
But I thought it was funny. Braun beat Baron Corbin with literally not touching him.
Yeah,
I mean, except for the bottom of his foot,
only putting his foot on him. Yeah, I liked this. I mean, it was good, like heel comeuppance and a good finish, but it does not excuse how terrible everything has been. Like.
No, but it does make it so Braun was able to come back for the match.
Yeah, they worked this very well with the circumstances they had.
As the general manager, Even though Braun really didn't do anything.
Yeah, I can't complain with what they did in that moment.
Yeah, I was actually impressed with how they did it.
Yeah,
because I really thought they'd just do something stupid.
Yeah, I figured Braun would just power slam him with one arm.
No, I was just figuring maybe just a straight punch to the jaw and that'd be it.
Yeah, but this was clever. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. Good job for once.
We had Ruby Riott against Natalya in a tables match with the storyline of Ruby breaking Natalya's father's sunglasses.
Oh yes,
of
it's
so
this
long
match.
ago.
I've been waiting for this match.
Yeah, right. And the week leading into TLC, Ruby had the table with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, like a Jim the Anvil Neidhart fathead on the table.
That's what it made me think of, were the fatheads.
Yeah.
Which is probably all it is.
Yeah, it pretty much was. Because I was thinking, like, there's no way they actually, like, engraved this onto the table.
Oh, no.
Or like, somehow, like, colored it on there or something. Like, it had to be a sticker.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this is essentially a 3-on-1 match. Because, except Natalya does all the damage because right away she hits. Ruby was on the apron and the table was set up on the outside, and Natalya goes to like try to tackle her through a shoulder block sort of. But Liv Morgan gets Riott out of the way and she takes the fall for her.
Dude, did you see her form?
Bump on that table.
I mean, her form was just straight. I mean, she didn't move until she hit the floor.
Yeah, that was a trust fall into a table.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, to me,
it looked fantastic.
That was the most beautiful fall through a table I've seen by anybody.
Yeah.
Because it was just...
I agree. I was gonna mention that too, because Liv did a heck of a job there.
I mean, that was the first... Well, that was a side note I've got, was about her going through that table.
Yeah.
Which, when we post this, I wish we did video. We could put like GIFs up there because that's one GIF I'd love to see over and over. It's just her falling back into the table. It was just perfect.
Yeah, tons of credit for Liv Morgan.
Yeah, between her and Natty, because it took both of them.
Yeah,
because it doesn't even look like Morgan even jumped back. She just got hit and fell.
Yeah,
which was perfect. It was just great.
Yeah, and later, Natty would also put Sarah Logan through the table, and then she would go under the ring to reveal that she had a table of her own set up for Ruby Riott, but the table this time has a fathead of Ruby Riott plastered on it.
Yeah.
Which I don't really get the significance of.
I think it's because, well, Natty wanted a sticker on a table, and who are you going to put on there for Ruby Riott? I mean...
It's weird, though, because it's like...
It didn't make sense.
The table for Natalya was of somebody that was significant to her that she lost.
It was personal.
But I don't feel like Ruby is going to have like some sort of emotional attachment to just seeing herself on a table.
No, I didn't agree with it. Didn't care for that part. Yeah. It made no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm hesitant on this, but I feel like it would have been better if Natty just like put her through her own table, the one with Jim the Anvil Neidhart on it, and just put her through that one.
That's what I think. That way, her dad gets his revenge.
Yeah. I feel like that would have fit better, but I guess there's some sort of like maybe there's some sort of significance in like breaking that table. I don't know.
I don't either, but it would have made more sense.
Yeah. This whole thing was a weird angle, and the good news is that it made Natalya look good, which heading into the night after, I think I get why.
Yeah.
But on the downside, the Riott Squad are once again total losers.
Total jokes.
They lose 3-on-1, essentially.
Now, I will have to say, look at Ruby Riott.
Yeah.
Now, compared to, say, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair is different. She's got a spray tan every day.
Yep.
And she's putting on weight, so she doesn't look anorexic now.
No, I didn't notice
She
that.
is totally changing. Her hair is longer, different color. She's tan. She's got more weight. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. 'Cause I think she looks great now. Because, you know, she doesn't. I don't see her hips sticking out or her rib cage like an old dog down the side of the street.
Mm.
But why? What's with all the changes? You don't see very many superstars change that much that quick.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Where's Sheamus's tan? Where's Paige's tan?
That's a true story, but yeah, it's a minor detail, but it's one that's...
Well, it's one I noticed.
Well, I know it's one that the company obviously focuses on, too, because it's either something that they wanted her to do or that they approved of her doing.
Yeah.
Because, as we've learned, a superstar can't just change his appearance without anyone approving it, or he'll end up like Rusev, who cut his hair.
Or like Eva Marie, when she debuted, she wasn't redhead at first.
Okay, on NXT?
Yeah, they wanted her to go blonde, and she went red against their will. Which I guess, in hindsight, I mean, I guess it worked because she's not there no more.
Yeah, that's the end result that was needed.
But you know that shows what can happen if you do things your way.
Yeah, and you can even see that with Rusev. I think that plenty of people backstage still have some sort of a grudge or have the perception that he's difficult to work with and all this because of that. And between that and the point where he announced him and Lana's engagement when they were in the middle of an angle with Ziggler and like a love triangle sort of thing.
Kind of blew the whole thing up.
Yeah. And after that, they scrapped the whole storyline.
But I wish he didn't cut his hair. I thought he looked better with long hair. But get rid of the beard.
Yeah, I don't know. I like his look now. I mean, I
like it now. I think he looked better with long hair.
But I think that I don't know. This is random, but I feel like
it's our podcast.
Yeah, I feel like the long hair fit his character back then better.
Okay.
Where he's evolved more now. He's more like back then. He's foreign heel, and now he's
more user friendly.
Yeah, exactly. He's professional Rusev now.
Yeah.
Rusev of Rusev Day.
Before he was just Rusev. Now he's Rusev Day.
Yeah. So, back to the topic at hand, though. Ruby and her squad lose this 3-on-1. Natty gets the win.
Power bomb from the middle rope.
Yeah.
Through the table.
Through Ruby's table.
Yeah.
Which the sticker was hanging off of the half of the table.
You think when they cut the table so it'd break, they'd cut the sticker so it'd break too?
Yeah, but that's hard too, because you'd have to do it in the exact spot it's going to break.
Well, not really. You can just take a razor knife and just cut the sticker. That way, no matter where the table breaks, the sticker will rip.
Yeah.
Make it look better anyway.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the top of a wooden table and the bottom half is just, Ruby Riott's legs dangling as a sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that match.
No, my biggest takeaway from that match was Liv Morgan going through the table.
Yeah.
That was just gorgeous.
It was.
And not just Liv.
Yeah. The table played its part very well.
Yeah, I even went back and watched it 3 times just to watch her fall through that table.
Yeah. We had Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor.
And as we know, I write my notes as I'm watching. And the first thing I said was Ziggler's going to interfere somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, look what happened.
Yep.
I'm a psychic.
Yeah. It took a lot that was a bold prediction.
Yeah, I know, man.
But I did not have much of note of anything in this.
That's the only note I've got.
Until the end is that Finn wins with help of Ziggler, similar to how Ziggler won with the help of Balor on the 2 weeks ago Raw. that led to this match. Yeah. It is Drew McIntyre's first pay-per-view loss, though, since he's been back.
It's his first singles loss, isn't it?
Other than the one to Ziggler that Balor interfered on.
Yeah. Okay. So that would have been his first singles loss.
Yeah. And so, couple losses for Drew.
Well, it's a good thing you're in WWE where that don't matter.
Yeah, I don't know if they still have long-term plans for Drew and putting him up into the main event scene, but
I think they have the same long-term plans for every wrestler that they sign. I really do. And that's just to keep them away from the competition. That's their only plan.
What do you mean by that?
Keep them away from Ring of Honor. Keep them away from
Right.
That's their only long-term plan that they put into place for everybody. Is just sign them to get them away.
Plan. Yeah.
No, see, there. I just answered your question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once they get to the main roster, though, I think there is at least a little more investment.
Well, yeah, once you get up there. Because there you're on TV, you've got millions of dollars in advertisements that people could pull.
As far as signing people to NXT, though, and the Performance Center and all that, it's just
a sign up.
We want this guy so no one else can have him.
Yep. Welcome to WWE.
So, we had Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
Yeah.
Which is like my least favorite stipulation. But
because there's no point. It's a chairs match. We've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a chair.
But, however, for what it was, I did think this match was pretty good.
I really don't have any notes except for...
It wasn't thrilling, but Mysterio and Orton are both...
They do put on good
experienced matches. And great workers.
Yeah. Now, I did like the splash under the rope with the chair.
Yeah, with the chair. That was creative.
Yeah,
but
I enjoyed that.
The thing with this is, like, if I were running a promotion, which isn't something that's going to happen anytime soon, so take my opinion for what it is, and I have Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton on the same roster, the last thing I'm going to do is put them in a feud against each other. Because both of them, with the status they're at, should be used to feud with newer guys instead of rehashing the same matches we would have seen in 2006.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Or even just going for the title picture. I mean, going against each other does nothing for either one of them.
Exactly.
So put a stipulation of some sort. The winner gets a title shot or gets a chance to be in a title match.
Yeah.
Something. But, this is a chairs match. You versus you. Have fun.
I think you had hit the nail on the head, though, is that it doesn't hurt whoever loses and it doesn't help whoever wins.
Yeah, it's just
because
time filler.
Yeah.
It's time filler in the story that we saw for the past few weeks.
Yeah, and Ray wins with a roll-up here, too, which I totally expected Randy to win.
I chose Mysterio, but I wasn't expecting like that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like they were more invested in having the heel Orton run, but I don't know. The finish there made me think that they're going to do another match, too.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at WWE. We still got like 4 more before they decide to quit.
Yeah, so, fine match, just not what I would have preferred to have, but, both guys, you know what you're getting with them. They'll put on a good match.
I mean, you've got the high-flying speed of Mysterio and the strength and calculations of Orton.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had a baby?
What?
No, I'm just saying the agility and stuff of Mysterio with the power and calculation of Orton. That'd be a badass baby.
I don't even know how we got here.
I don't know. I'm still sleeping, dude.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so we had Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax on the next match. I still love Ronda Rousey. I thought this match was very good.
Obviously, I chose Rousey to win.
Yeah, Rousey's not losing.
There's no reason for her not to win right now.
Yeah.
Going into Royal Rumble, she's going to hold that belt till Mania.
Yeah, at least.
Just because it's Royal Rumble coming up. Titles don't change hands that often between January and April.
No.
Not the main titles, anyway.
Yeah, not a lot. But, yeah, Rousey, I guess it was similar to the first match that Nia and Rousey had. Ronda just did a great job selling. She pulled out things, though, that, she did the crossbody from the top rope to the outside.
I thought that looked great.
It did.
It was like a perfect landing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen a superstar do a better one.
Yeah, Jax caught her perfectly. It was good.
It looked good. It felt like it went right.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is that's, especially for Ronda, when Nia now has the reputation of not being safe or hurting people, when you do that move, you are putting your full trust that Nia is going to catch you.
But if you're going to throw yourself towards another human being, wouldn't you want it to be a 250-pound human being that has the power to hold you?
Yeah. There was the time that she didn't catch Charlotte and she landed on her face.
That's true.
But, yeah, I don't know. But the thing I took away from that, though, is that Ronda doesn't have to do stuff like that.
No.
She is a made star. And if she wanted to, she could Brock Lesnar it up and coast all she wants. And she would still get paid the same, still draw the same crowd. But I just get the feeling she genuinely loves this.
I was going to say, it's not I think it's more she's more of a fan.
Yeah.
Than just, she's not in it for the money like Lesnar.
And it's not just she's a fan, she respects wrestling, she likes this. This is her passion.
Yeah.
That's what I feel from her. And that makes me appreciate her a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so really good match. Ronda puts away Nia eventually with the armbar after fending off Tamina. The monolithical mute, I think she called her.
Yeah.
In previous weeks.
But even Tamina didn't even attempt to interfere that much.
No, she got up on the apron once. And then Ronda scared her off.
Yeah.
And then when Ronda put the armbar in the second time, she stared her down and said, "This one's for you."
Yeah. But
Nia taps immediately.
I was glad to see that Tamina didn't interfere.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing outside interference.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem with that. I forgot she was out there until
you really do.
Until the end.
You really do forget because she's not making a point to be right there to interfere.
Yeah. So we had our WWE Championship match. Daniel, the new...
For those of you that don't know, it's the only heavyweight title on WWE right now.
Until, January, at least.
Oh, no. Until he loses it, this is the only title.
Yeah, so we have the new Daniel Bryan.
Oh, screw that. It's Daniel Bryan.
Against the old AJ Styles? I don't know.
I don't know. It could be new. It's a different day. Every day's a new day.
Yeah. So, AJ getting his rematch for the WWE title here. Fine match. I
wasn't expecting much because we've already seen it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of matches. I still like Bryan's demeanor and what he does as a heel right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
I didn't like the ending, though.
Yeah, so Bryan wins with a reverse of a small package.
Yeah.
AJ had him in a cradle pin. Bryan reversed it and rolled him up and got the pin.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I know flukes happen.
Yeah.
And, I know sometimes a superstar just made for not kick out in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he lost. But for this kind of match, that was a stupid way to end it.
Well, the only thing I'm assuming is that they want to do another match at the Royal Rumble.
Well, they do. Because who else is Bryan gonna go after until after Royal Rumble when we know who's gonna be his competitor or his challenger?
Yeah.
So they've got to have one more match.
Mm-hmm. So I don't really have much else to say about that. It was fine.
I feel the same way about the next match. Can we just skip it?
Yeah, we had Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins.
In the most disappointing match of the month.
What I wrote here as in a boring as hell match.
So much of the audience said it was boring.
Yeah. Who would have thought, man, that the crowd would be chanting, "This is boring," at a Seth Rollins match?
Not just that, but in a title match.
Yeah.
An Intercontinental title match.
You know what the real killer though for me is that we know what these guys can do.
Yeah.
And we know that they've had great matches with each other before.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've only gotten better since then.
Until this match.
Like, I still think Seth Rollins might be, I think he's top 3 wrestlers in the world right now.
Oh, wow.
Just in what he can do.
Like full time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like anywhere.
Well, you know, wrestlers in the world, I'm thinking, does that include part-time? Because there's a lot of part-timers that I would put above him.
Includes everyone to me.
Okay.
Like Tim and AJ are like, and I guess Brian might be up there now too.
Him and AJ are a lot of the same.
Yeah, they're very. Seth is kind of like a younger AJ, like when he was in Impact like that. But just we know what they can do, and for whatever reason, I'm assuming they were not allowed to do anything.
I don't know. I actually read that Vince McMahon was pissed about that match.
Yeah, and
he was just totally pissed about that whole match.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, here's what I assume that is, though, is that the idea, and we see it sometimes, like the WrestleMania Dream match with Shinsuke and AJ comes to mind, where the idea is we know we're going to have more matches with these same two later. So we don't want to give away everything in the first match.
No, but you got to give something.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
There was no substance to this match.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so horrible I had to fast forward most of it.
It was just holds, headlocks.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? I mean, I've seen better wrestling in a fucking 8th grade match.
Yeah, so... And what makes it even weirder is that there ends up being a title change in this match. Dean puts Seth away with the dirty deeds and
wins.
Yeah. For
what? I mean, the match sucked. Honestly, there hasn't been a lot of good build up to it, to the match.
No, the build up was terrible because it took so much potential in what could have been a really good storyline, and they turned Ambrose into the carbon cutter, cookie cutter heel.
Yeah.
And just
put a gas mask on.
You people promos and get injections in his ass because he doesn't want to catch measles.
And imagine that. Ooh, a heel talking shit to the audience.
Yeah.
Give me something original. I mean, The Shield was original.
When there was so much room for originality here, too.
Yeah. And I understand why, with everything going on with Reigns, that they had to split up the Shield, but they could have done so much better with this.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, I remember how, I liked it a lot when they did the turn for Ambrose on the night they did, because it was shocking.
Yeah.
And if you kept that momentum building, you could have had some real heats for Ambrose.
Yeah.
Instead of this is boring.
It just blows my mind how 2 of the top stars today have what should be a good match, and it's boring.
Yeah. It has to be noted too that commentary made this match significantly worse.
For us, because we can hear it.
Yeah.
But even in the audience, you can't hear you can't hear commentary.
That's true. Yeah.
So if the audience is chanting something like "this is boring,"
it's even worse boring on television.
It's got to be boring because they're not listening to commentators screw that up too.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing with Corey Graves digging at Renee Young and her relationship with Dean Ambrose and this and the other. And
I will say, they did commentary ringside at TLC, which, normally on Raw, it's up the ramp.
Yeah.
Well, I was really hoping to see Renee Young maybe get involved somehow. Trip Rollins or just something small, but something enough to give Ambrose an edge.
Yeah, but it's to the point,
because of everything that's being said by Corey Graves and him not leaving her alone, why not do something and say, you know what, shut the hell up, Corey. This is my husband. I'm going to help him win.
Yeah. It's to the point I wouldn't even care about it, though.
It just would have been cool to see because I'm tired of hearing the back and forth between them two.
Yeah, we'll see if they ever actually have her get involved in the storyline.
Or just get up and slap the hell out of Corey real quick. I mean, just give him one big slap across the face.
Yeah.
Be like, shut your pie hole.
Yeah, it just makes a bad match worse.
It couldn't get no worse.
That's true.
I mean, the only way I think it might get worse is if Hornswoggle was the referee. And I like Hornswoggle.
Well, that would make it better.
That's true. Who doesn't like midgets?
Yeah. So, that was the buffer match.
That was the only match on the card that should not have happened.
Yeah. For the main event, which was awesome, and it should have been the main event, and it was, the triple threat TLC match for the SmackDown Women's title. Becky Lynch defending against Charlotte and Asuka.
And I expected a lot of action. A lot of big hits, hard hits.
They did not disappoint.
No, they did not.
I'll run through what I have down here. Right away, sick powerbomb through a table in the corner from Asuka to Charlotte. She, I think that's the one, she puts her, Charlotte goes through, it's set up in the corner. And Charlotte goes through the bottom part of the table instead of the top, and it just looks like she goes head first through that thing.
Yeah, it was a bad hit.
Yeah. So later, Becky puts both Charlotte and Asuka on the announce table and goes for a leg drop off the top of a ladder.
Okay, what was that? Was that a leg drop? Senton?
I would call it a leg drop.
Because I thought she flipped.
I don't think she flipped. I thought it was just a leg drop. But I don't know. I only watched it once.
Well, I only watched it once.
I thought it was a leg drop. But the landing here, because Charlotte is on the closer part to the table of where Becky is, and Asuka's on the farther away parts.
Yeah. And
Asuka rolls off, and Becky just lands sitting on Charlotte's stomach, pretty much. Her full body weight came down on Charlotte's stomach. Oh, yeah.
It looked like it hurt. It looked like she just squatted and landed on her stomach.
Yeah. And this was a tall ladder, too, that she was almost at the top of.
15-foot ladder?
Yeah, and she was almost to the top of it.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of something different. I was thinking something later.
Oh, okay, about the senton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't
when Charlotte does it.
Right, yeah. Right.
You'll probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll have it written down here. There were multiple stiff shots with the kendo stick throughout to everyone.
Yeah, which is a given.
And Asuka thinking that she finally has control, but then Charlotte just comes in from out of nowhere and spears her through the barricade.
Not through it, it only bent.
Well, it bent, but they went into it.
But it makes you want. I've never seen that bend like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't. They don't weigh enough to break it.
Well, you can't say that because Charlotte's put others through them.
Yeah.
Maybe Asuka don't weigh enough. She's too small.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, still fine.
No, yeah.
Becky and Charlotte finally face off one-on-one in the ring, which I thought was cool. And they both go back and forth, and Charlotte puts Becky out on the ladder with Asuka down. Or Charlotte and Becky are both fighting.
Make your notes a little bigger so you can see them.
I think I just wrote that wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because I can see them, but I think I just typed it
Okay.
incorrectly. But Charlotte and Becky fight on the top of the ladder, and I guess this would be before the senton you mentioned, where Charlotte does or after. I mean,
yeah, this is after the. I don't know if it'd be a senton or moonsault or whatever the hell it was that she did on Becky.
Yeah,
but it. I didn't know what the hell it was.
Put her through the table on the outside, and
yeah,
that would be called a rolling senton, I guess.
But she was on the ropes.
Yeah.
How do you get a rolling senton when you're on the rope?
Because you roll forward.
Isn't that just a senton?
Well, a regular senton is like you just land on your back.
Okay. Well, I thought that's kind of what she did.
Yeah, but she flipped forward. Like, in a regular senton, you would just put your back to them and not do a flip.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the intricacies of these moves and the differences between them.
Yeah.
But eventually, Becky recovers from that, and her and Asuka's down, and Charlotte and Becky are fighting at the top of the ladder. There's two ladders set up right next to each other, and out comes Ronda Rousey, who pushes down the ladder, and Asuka gets the win, climbing the ladder to victory.
And you know what? I'm okay with that win.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the way it ended. I mean, of course, I was rooting for Becky.
I think Ronda had the promo earlier. She said, "Payback's a bitch, and I'm the baddest one on the planet."
Yeah.
And that's what happened here. Asuka gets the win here after being just put in there towards the end. Didn't have much momentum until she won that battle royal to get into the match, and they started building her back up. And they cap it off early.
I think this is going to be Asuka's going to hold it until Mania. Because I think Becky's... I mean, it's already... I'm not going to say confirmed, but it's already rumored that it's going to be Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I don't see her getting the title back until after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my prediction from here is that Charlotte they have the match at Mania. I don't know if Charlotte wins.
Who's going to have the match at Mania?
Charlotte and Asuka. I mean,
Charlotte and Asuka, okay.
For the women's title at WrestleMania.
Well, you can't do that because the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to go against Asuka.
Well, she can win the Rumble.
Oh, that's true.
Well, no, because if Becky wins the Rumble, she'll just choose Ronda. So
yeah,
then you have to get the other one some other way.
But that could be just a series of matches or a tournament. You know, that they'll come up with some half-baked idea to get a number one contender.
Yeah, I like. I thought that Charlotte would win this. That's who I had winning, and then I figured Asuka would have the chase to WrestleMania and conquer Charlotte and win the title back, the same place she lost her streak a year ago, and have that sort of redemption.
That would have made more sense doing it that way.
Yeah, but
I mean, just storyline and character-wise, it would have made more sense.
But typical with WWE, they blow their load early.
Oh yeah, they're very premature.
Yeah, and Asuka gets the title for the first time.
Yeah,
and you know that's a good thing, and you know it just kind of came out of nowhere here towards the end of this year.
Well, I mean, really, who else are you going to put it on besides Becky and Charlotte?
Yeah,
who else are you going to put the title on?
Other than those two, there's no other.
Don't get me wrong, I like Naomi, and I like her as champion.
Yeah.
But she's not the caliber that Becky or Charlotte is.
Yeah, she didn't.
Just isn't.
She didn't move the needle. I guess.
Not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Asuka's the right person to have it on in the long run, I think.
Yeah. I think so, because there's so much she can do because she's still fairly new to the main roster. There's a lot of matches she hasn't had yet.
Yeah.
Becky and Charlotte, well, they go at each other for the last 6 months. I mean, it's getting old.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 3 months.
Yeah, it was time for something new, and Asuka's rise to the top is warranted.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I gave the whole show I only gave it an A-. It would have been an A+ if it wasn't for the Rollins-Ambrose match.
Well, I thought there were a few other, matches that were just there.
Well, yeah, but...
The show would have been significantly better if it was 3 hours and not 4.
There was no need for the 4th hour except for more video packages that you have to watch. Because that's all you get.
I mean, you cut the Ambrose and Rollins match and the mixed match challenge stuff and Drew and Finn.
Where are you going to put the mixed match challenge?
I don't care.
But they've been saying it for months that it's going to end at TLC. It's not something that just happened.
Put it on the pre-show.
And bump up Elias and Lashley in that bullshit match to the main roster?
No, just don't have it.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm good with that.
Yeah, so overall, I thought it was like a B+.
I mean, compared to how WWE has been the past few months, this was a total 180.
Yeah.
Even though some of it sucked, it was still a total 180.
Yeah, there was good stuff that came from this, at least.
Yes.
Which will lead us to Raw the next day.
Now, before we get going, I've got it noted that sometime throughout Raw, they showed Sami Zayn's video package.
Yeah, I had that noted. They had one for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
And then they did one
separately.
Then they had one with Kevin Owens. Now, if you remember right, on one of our shows, I made the comment of holding them back until Rumble and bring them back together.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It could be.
I mean, we're inching closer and closer to Rumble, and now we're getting coming soon videos.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they fix into WrestleMania season and if they have plans for them at that point.
Honestly, I hope they keep them as a tag team because we need some more fresh tag teams.
Yeah, on Raw.
Even on SmackDown. We need fresh ones, not the same stale, recycled crap.
Yeah.
I love New Day. I'm tired of seeing them.
Yeah, I feel that.
I love Usos. I'm just tired of seeing them every week.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to want to see the superstars.
Okay.
If I don't want to see them, I'm not going to pay attention to your match.
Yeah. That's fair.
Give me a reason to want to see it. Here's another Uso bar match. Here's another New Day Uso match. I don't even need to watch it because I know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something different.
Yeah. Sammy and Kevin never really had that. Like, they were aligned, but they were never in the tag team division per se.
No, and I think they should be. We've got a lot of top dogs for the singles titles.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody major coming in to challenge for the tag titles.
Yeah.
On either brand. We don't have enough. I mean, we have enough tag teams. We need new ones. We need fresh meat.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
I'd like to see them in there.
Or, do the lotto, do the draft, something, but switch it up so the matches can be different.
Yeah. I'd assume they'll do that at some point after WrestleMania.
And my first note for this day, for Monday, is let's see if they can match last night's pay-per-view. Probably not.
Yeah, so it was tight. I think earlier in the week on social media that Vince McMahon would be at Raw this Monday.
Yeah.
Or maybe they announced it last week on Raw. I don't remember.
They might have.
But, my immediate thought was, ratings are down?
Well, they are.
Let's throw Vince McMahon out there and draw some ratings.
The only thing that helps more than Vince McMahon get ratings is John Cena.
Yeah, so right away, Vince opens the show, and he introduces Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Shane McMahon, the whole McMahon family.
Which is weird because Triple H isn't a McMahon. Stephanie married into Triple H's family.
But you marry into they're still family.
But Stephanie's not. Stephanie's a McMahon by blood, but not by name anymore. Triple H is.
Well, her name is still Stephanie McMahon.
Well, on TV. But Triple H has never been a McMahon.
But no, she kept her name though, didn't she?
I don't know.
I think she did.
But where's Triple H fit in? He's not a fucking McMahon. Just because he's fucking a McMahon.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's a McMahon.
Yeah, I mean...
I get why he's out there.
He's the son-in-law.
And he's the COO.
Yeah. And Vince likes him for some reason.
I mean, that's fine. I just... you know me, I've got to throw up some stupid shit too.
I did like the, Triple H, goes to hug Vince, and Vince is just like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
That was the expression he had, okay, whatever.
Yeah. That was good.
There's some funny ending segments on the Edge and Christian show on the WWE Network where they have Vince and Triple H as puppets.
Oh yeah,
I found it pretty hilarious when they did that.
Now before McMahon even said a word, after everybody's out in the ring, I immediately thought it was going to be announced that Shane and Stephanie were going to switch brands. Switch things up. Let Shane run Raw, Stephanie get SmackDown. I mean, think about it. What could be better than totally switching things? SmackDown has been awesome when Shane's in charge. Raw sucks. Switch them.
I mean, it wouldn't change anything, but...
Well, no, but it could be the effect. It could give the effect that some things are changing.
The illusion.
Yeah. Because that's all WWE is an illusion.
That's true.
They're the greatest illusionists in the world. So
instead, they all say, Raw has been on air for 25 years, and it's been here so long because we listen to our audience. And recently, we haven't been doing that.
No.
And we're going to start now. And they essentially say that you are the authority.
Which I thought was kind of cool. Because no one's brought up the authority in a while.
No, not for a couple years.
Yeah, but it's just kind of nice. I mean, the pop that they got when they said you are the authority, it's like everybody knew what they were talking about.
Yeah. So, essentially they said, I guess the whole thing was, you guys are in charge, but actually we're in charge.
Yeah.
Because that's the deal, is that all four of them are going to run both shows.
Which, you can't have an even number of people run anything. Because if there's a tie, who's the tiebreaker? Nobody.
Well, that's the thing, is that there is no discussions. It's just whoever says something first.
Well, I mean, they were discussing in the ring.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if you bring an idea up and they're all in the same room, and two of them like it, two of them don't, which way are you going to go?
Well, Vince counts as 2 votes.
Oh, okay. So whatever he says.
No, actually, Vince counts as 4 votes.
4?
Yeah.
So he outdoes everybody, even if they're all gang up on him.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
We're in this together.
Until he says different.
Yeah, so eventually Baron Corbin comes out, and he is nuclear explosion, nuclear bombs, heat.
Oh, yeah.
This crowd would not let him speak.
And I thought it was funny. I mean, every time he opened his mouth, they just start booing.
So he says, last night wasn't fair because he got ganged up on, and he wasn't ready for this, and Braun wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And he wants his job back. And this segment was kind of funny, though, because Corbin continues trying to talk. Mm. And eventually Vince just says, you have a microphone, and they don't.
Yeah.
I almost felt like Corbin just forgot his lines here.
I think something happened. Maybe he forgot, or just something.
I don't know that that's what happened, or if he felt like he wanted to soak in that reaction more.
But it seemed like they let it go a little too long.
Yeah, this was a long segment.
It really was.
They even did a commercial when Corbin entered.
Yeah.
That's how long it was.
Something.
Yeah. So eventually, after discussing it amongst themselves, Triple H says, you can be GM again if you beat this man. And out comes Kurt Angle.
Yes. Which I thought was awesome.
The same Kurt Angle that Triple H pedigreed to in the Survivor Series match last year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's all good now. And the same Kurt Angle that Stephanie McMahon berated and basically fired.
It's all good.
Put on permanent vacation or whatever.
Well, he's back from vacation.
Yeah.
He was on GM vacation.
I do miss Vacation Kurt and his goofy hats and his Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah. Kind of makes me think of Carlito.
Yeah.
With the shirts.
Yeah, it's true. So Kurt comes out, they start their match, it goes to a commercial, and then they come back, and I think Triple H comes out and says that, oh yeah, Heath Slater's the referee too.
Yes.
And then it's, I think it's Triple H that first comes out and says that, oh yeah, this match is a handicap match, and out comes everyone you saw yesterday.
Yeah.
And with Apollo and Bobby Lashley.
And of course,
not Bobby Lashley, Bobby Roode.
The famous line from Corey Graves. This is egregious.
Yeah.
This is egregious.
That's Corey's favorite word.
He says it every show.
Pretty much.
And, like,
I do always laugh at that because...
And it's funny, because at TLC, he says it at the beginning of the show as well. And I only know that because I actually wrote it down.
Yeah, there needs to be, like, some shirts made with that or something.
We should. When we go to WrestleMania, we should have shirts made, hashtag this is egregious.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
We'll have to think about that one. That might be worth looking into.
Yeah. So, then after it's already a handicap match, I want to say it, Stephanie comes out and says, oh yeah, no, it's also a no disqualification match. Just to make things worse.
Yeah.
And essentially, the same thing that happened last night happens tonight. And all of them hit finishers and chair shots and all this, and they pin, Kurt Angle pins Corbin with the Angle Slam, and Slater counts the pin. At some point, the crowd chanted, we want tables, and so after the match, Angle put him through a table.
But, even TLC and on Raw, at least Slater's pin count were fairly accurate. He didn't rush it. Look at some of the rest that are forced by management to count. It's always 1, 2, 3. Well, at least his was realistic. And it didn't look like, okay, well, I got to do it. 1, 2, 3.
What a minor detail.
Hey, it's an observation. That's what I'm here for.
So, basically a repeat of the pay-per-view, which, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. It kind of ended the Corbin's storyline in a way.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he's going to be GM. There is no GM.
Mm-hmm.
So, does that mean all 4 of these fuckers are going to be on every show every week?
I
doubt
so.
It. I don't.
At least one of them.
I don't.
Some of them.
But if you have one, then that comes back to the whole power trip authority crap. Because one person's in charge and the others aren't there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're all at every show anyway.
Well, yeah. But not in kayfabe, they're not. In kayfabe, Vince McMahon only shows up twice a year.
Yeah, but...
Until you go backstage and see him in the gorilla room behind the curtain.
Yeah. But I guess that's, kind of what they were saying is going to change. That's... I don't know.
Well, only time will tell. I know we don't know a lot, but...
We'll see.
It's good to speculate.
Yeah, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor, because I don't think I mentioned at the pay-per-view they did the interview with Finn, and Dolph comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And Finn was like, I don't know what Ziggler's doing out there, even though Finn interfered in Ziggler's match weeks earlier.
Yeah.
And then Dolph did the same, and then Finn has a problem with it. And then Ziggler, who I thought had turned face, apparently did not.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. I don't know what the hell Ziggler is. I mean, I guess WWE just wanted to say, I know you've watched this, and we made it look like Ziggler turned face, but no, he's not.
Yeah.
He's just the guy. And Ziggler, I think, beat up Finn on the interview there. And then they had the match here tonight, which Drew, of course, interferes on and ends the match by beating up both of them.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to the match itself. Except the bell.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, cool. Drew kills them all and gets his angry payback.
But we already know where this is fucking going. A triple threat match.
Yeah.
We already know it.
Unless they end up doing, like, Dolph and Finn 2-on-1 against Drew.
But they usually only do that when there's 4 people that don't like each other or have matches against each other. You know, they only team up adversaries when it's equal.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well, my wrestling.
Yeah, so Dean comes out and he cuts his "You People" promo.
And I honestly skipped it. I'm tired of hearing it.
And says, and he wants Seth Rollins to come out and admit that he was right. And he has his gas mask people with him, too.
His SWAT team?
Yeah, his quote-unquote SWAT team.
Yeah.
And he says he's doing an open challenge for anyone not named Seth Rollins.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
And Tyler Breeze answers the bell. Which
I forgot all about Tyler Breeze. You know, since he's not with Fandango right now because Fandango's out injured.
No.
He doesn't get on TV.
Yeah, I mean, this was fine, though. It was cool to have Breeze in a match and at least have a somewhat competitive match before he loses.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I wrote was I don't expect a major moment, just a little back and forth before Ambrose wins.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote.
And that's mostly what happened.
Well, yeah, and then I wrote, I was right, Ambrose wins.
And they end up doing the old trick where it turns out Rollins was one of the people in the mask.
Yeah, because Rollins' music hits and the SWAT team, Ambrose sends the SWAT team up the ramp. Mm-hmm. And then there's one in the ring with them.
Yep. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, first starting watching wrestling, like, one of the first times I saw this was when it was in WWE's version of ECW, where Chavo Guerrero, I think, had just beaten CM Punk for the ECW title, and he's having, like, a mariachi celebration, and he has, like, a band, and they're all playing, and then, like, one of them just ends up being CM Punk, and he smashes him with the guitar.
Oh, shit.
So this has been something they do for a while.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I always like to picture, like, the scene, like, it's kind of like a movie scene, but we don't actually see it. It's where, like, Dean has all his gas mask people, but then one of them mysteriously goes missing because Seth Rollins drags him into a dark alley and beats him up and takes his clothes.
And then falls in line.
Yeah. That's how I picture it.
Like an old maybe 80s or 90s action movie. Like, like, where's Chuck Norris?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I picture that
guy. In the shadows, just hit him once over the head and he falls, takes his clothes.
Yeah.
Next on the Marine 7.
Yeah. That's how I like to picture that going.
But that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So, Rollins comes in, he takes the gas mask off and beats Ambrose up a little bit, and Ambrose exits.
Yeah.
And we have Shane being interviewed backstage when Drake Maverick, who's still with AOP, he's still their manager, even after he single-handedly...
he hasn't pissed them off yet.
Even after he single-handedly lost them the tag team titles, AOP is... They're still keen to listen to whatever Drake wants them to do.
And I don't know why. I really don't.
Yeah. I put them in guilty by association with Maverick. But nonetheless, Drake wants... This was interesting because Drake asks for their mandatory championship rematch for AOP.
Yes.
And Shane says that the rematch clause is being, quote, antiquated, which I could not be happier about.
Well, I mean, it seems like lately, and when I say lately, maybe the last couple months, or maybe even 6 months, but all you're hearing is mandatory rematch clause. Mandatory.
Oh my God, I would say the last 10 years.
Well, Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, just lately, you hear it more, I think.
Yeah.
Because every time somebody loses, I get a mandatory rematch.
I always didn't like this because it gives WWE an excuse to just have, like, the lazy storyline of just like, well, this person gets a rematch because they get a rematch. And that's it. We're going to fill more time with that.
I mean, I do agree with the rematch because as a champion, if you lose, you should have the right to try to get your title back before anybody else does. You were the champion, you lost, so you get one shot.
Well,
win or lose, that's the only shot you get.
What I would like is a new clause where instead of it being a mandatory rematch clause, you make it a mandatory opportunity clause.
Oh, you get the opportunity for a rematch.
So you get because, WWE loves that word, opportunity.
Yeah. At least on SmackDown.
Everywhere. Since they love that word, you are guaranteed that you will be in the match to decide who faces the champion.
Okay, I can see that. At least it's a chance. And not just, you lost? You were the champion for a year and you lost? Oh, you get to start at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If wins and losses really mattered here.
Yeah, that would be a bit too far in the opposite direction. So Shane announces that there's going to be a 4-way tag team match with AOP being featured in it. They'll go against all the other tag teams in the division that aren't
pretty much
Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. So it was the B Team, the Revival, and the Lucha House Party,
which is now said that the McMahons have ended Lucha House Party rules.
Yeah,
it will be no longer. Thank God for the Revival.
I still don't get who was behind the Lucha House Party rules. Like,
I don't know. It only lasted a few weeks. Thank God.
Yeah,
it just sucked.
Like, I guess it was Baron Corbin's fault, even though the Lucha House Party are faces and the Revival are still heels.
I'm blaming JoJo. She announces it.
Well, she doesn't make the decisions.
She announces it, so if she doesn't announce it, it never happens.
Oh, my Lord.
So it's all JoJo's fault. Speaking of JoJo, where's Bray Wyatt?
Well,
I heard
you know what?
He stopped by one of the shows last week, but
I don't know if he did. The last I heard was that he did the Starrcade show, and it wasn't on the network version of it, but he was there.
I heard he was like either on the Raw or SmackDown after that. They didn't show it, but he was there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's been sending out a lot of like really weird cryptic tweets.
Are we looking at a character change?
Yeah, it seems that way. Is that they're going to repackage him somewhere?
Bring him back with. I'm not going to say with Harper and Rowan, but
yeah, I think they'll do. At least what I gather is that they're going to try to do something different, which
they have to.
Welcome,
because with Hardy out, let me rephrase that, with Matt Hardy out, they have to.
Yeah.
But that's a SmackDown thing.
Yeah.
So, I was just curious, what happened to him, because I haven't seen him for a while. I heard he was coming back, but never saw him.
Yeah. He's still on the return soon list.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have a video yet, so it's not too soon.
Yeah. But next, there was Bobby Lashley doing a mock of Elias because the lights are out, and Leo Rush plays the part of JoJo where he says, "Ladies and gentlemen."
Can I just say that we never even covered that tag match?
Yeah, because it was announced yet, but it didn't happen yet.
Oh. I just noticed the next match that does happen.
Yeah, this segment was in between.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't write the segments down. For you people at home, I don't keep track of segments. He does.
You people, you're turning into Dean Ambrose.
I don't want to say, my fellow Americans.
Well, they're not all Americans, so you can't even.
Exactly. See, I can't say that.
We don't know where people are listening from.
My fellow internet dwellers.
That's more fair. So, Lashley does the mock of Elias. He has the guitar, which I guess is like the broken guitar that he used last night, and he doesn't sing anything or anything. Instead, he just does his poses.
Yeah.
And, he's still bending over and showing people his ass.
Well, we already see Leo Rush. We don't need Apollo.
There you go again.
I know it, man. Next thing you know, I'm going to call him Steve Harvey.
Oh, Lord. He doesn't have the mustache, though.
I know. I'll call Apollo Steve Harvey. He's got at least a beard. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting so sick of the same shit.
It is. It's literally the same promo every week.
Every week. I'm sorry, but McMahon's just said things are going to switch. Things are going to change. Things are going to get better. When the hell is that going to happen?
I just end up feeling bad for Bobby Lashley because I know that he came to back to WWE, thinking that he was going to be a big deal.
And he should be.
Yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't be.
He should be a big deal. Get rid of that fucking cockroach, Leo Rush. Get rid of him. At least, with Lashley. Lashley is not a heel. He smiles too much.
Well, he can work either way.
He can, but smiling comes natural to him, it looks like. He needs to... And he's better as a face.
I don't know.
And with Strowman out, we need a big man.
I mean, we saw, he had the more charisma and impact, and when he was walking Armageddon and all that, I mean, I don't know a ton of it, but I know off of what most people say about him is that he grew a lot into a more charismatic presence during that time, whereas now, during that babyface run that he had, he was bland as can be.
Yeah, but that's uncreative.
Yeah, it is. And it led to some of the worst promo segments ever with the Bobby Lashley sisters thing.
Yeah, and now if you want to go back to the old school Bobby Lashley, go back to the McMahon versus Trump hair match.
Yeah.
That'll show you what Bobby Lashley can really do.
Yeah, I remember. That was the first WrestleMania I ever watched.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, WrestleMania 23 had Batista and The Undertaker and John Cena versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Because that's when, who was Umaga.
Yeah, Umaga versus Lashley.
Yeah.
With Trump and McMahon in their corners.
Yes. But that's the Lashley I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be entertained or supposed to be entertained by some stupid ass with a microphone and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't disagree. There's something different to be done with
Bobby killing Bobby Lashley's character to the point where people aren't going to want to watch him because, oh great, he's going to come on TV, show his ass, flex, big deal.
Yeah.
If I want to see that, I'll watch it on TV on damn ESPN or something.
Yeah, I would say that Bobby Lashley's character has long been dead.
They need to put him out in the pasture.
They're just stomping on the grave a little bit more.
Ooh, team up Bray Wyatt with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
be different. Or even in a singles matches.
Be different. Yeah,
it'd be two powerhouses in a way.
Yeah, yeah, it's a shame. It's
a shame we don't have creative control.
It's a shame that Bobby Lashley is showing up and he's putting on his "I'm just here for my check" face.
Yeah, and it really kills the E in WWE.
Yeah, fair point. So we had the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match that I mentioned there. The Revival, at least somewhat surprisingly, do pick up the win with pinning Bo Dallas with Shatter Machine.
B team, no.
Yeah, that was the first time we've seen them in a while.
First time we've seen them lose in a while, too.
Yeah. How the mighty have fallen, the former tag team champions.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, I forgot they were even champions.
It's easy to forget that time than when we were complaining about them on this show.
I hate to say it, but they need to go to SmackDown and be the Miz Taraj because That's the only time I really
That's
ever
where
liked
they were
them.
best.
That's what brought the best out of them. And it might have been Miz. Or being in the company of the Miz.
Yeah.
But they need to do something because the B team sucks.
Well, they will do something. They'll go right back to not being on TV.
Yeah. Maybe they can be the new Spirit Squad.
Yeah. Triple H and Shawn Michaels can package them and send them back to OVW.
Yeah. Although, side note, you said OVW, I'm thinking, training, development.
Yeah.
I did see a picture of Jason Jordan in NXT recently. So I don't know if he's coming back, working his way up, just practicing and training, or if they sent him down there just to work on a few things.
Producing.
Work on something.
Yeah.
Just a side note.
Yeah, I mean, last I heard with him is that
Last I heard, or Angle put him up for adoption.
What an unresolved storyline that was. Huh?
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
we'll never see. We'll never see where they were going with that.
I'd like to see somebody come out with adoption papers or something.
Like, were they going to have a match at the end? What was there going?
I thought they were going to do a match. Something was going to happen, and they do a match against each other. But
yeah,
you see where that went. But then again, we haven't seen Jordan in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, it went out the window when Jordan got injured. And
there's not much you can do when he's not on TV.
Yeah, and I mean, there's worry he might not ever wrestle again, and that they were setting him up to train to be a producer.
Oh, really? So it was that serious?
Yeah, that was a couple months ago. I remember seeing that.
I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah, because he's still backstage at a lot of the shows, and he's like shadowing producers and
learning.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That might just be a backup plan, and he's still hoping to get back in the ring.
He's just bored because he's not cleared.
Yeah.
And he has to come show up because that's what he gets paid to do.
So we had, well, actually, we should talk about the Revival winning this match, because they're going to face Bobby Roode and Chad Gable for the tag team titles next week.
Yes, there's a lot happening next week.
Yeah, isn't there?
Natty and Ronda.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a few other matches I saw. I just can't remember what they were.
Yeah, there were some on SmackDown, I remember.
Yeah.
But the Revival get their match for the tag team titles, and, they've been flattened out a lot throughout this Lucha House Rules.
Yes.
And before that, not winning big matches.
Yeah.
They still haven't won the tag team titles.
They haven't really been in the picture that much.
No. I think they lost to the B team at some point.
But technically, who didn't? Because the B team was champions. So everybody lost to the B team.
So, that's right. They lost to the B team multiple times.
Yeah. I think we covered that too.
Yeah. I like to forget that. But you see any chance that the Revival win next week?
I don't see it happening next week. I could see maybe somebody causing a disqualification
AOP.
So they do win.
I was thinking AOP might interfere.
Or I was going to say somebody might come out and just make it a no contest, so they have to do another match later on.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Gable and Roode just got the titles a week ago. I can't see them ending it this quickly.
I don't think they're going to drop those till at least March. Maybe even Mania or after.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the tag titles seem to be more interchangeable, and they don't mind flip-flopping those. So anything can happen. I won't say that the Revival will win.
At least those titles are on TV.
Yeah.
Unlike that one that WWE used to have.
Yeah. We know what you're referring to. So
it got stolen.
we had the main event come in with like an hour left of programming.
I saw that. There was so much time left. And I heard this was the main event.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, how is this one main event going to be an hour long? I don't see it. Well, I see it now, but damn.
It starts off with Ronda Rousey out to cut a promo to explain her actions yesterday, and she just says that Becky and Charlotte got what they deserved and all that. And she says she'll do an open challenge tonight, and apparently every woman on the roster wants it as they're backstage in the gorilla position, yelling and screaming at each other. And Stephanie makes an 8-woman gauntlet match with the winner facing Rousey next week for the title.
But how is this right? Don't get me wrong, I like gauntlet matches. But how is it right? How do you choose the first and second person?
Yeah, I was going to mention that because normally the illusion, at least, is that it's random. But in this case, Stephanie just said, Bayley, Alicia Fox, you're starting.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfair.
And then, who picks the order after that?
I guess Stephanie just chose.
Honestly, in a gauntlet match, they should do the same thing as the Royal Rumble. A blind draw.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what they normally say is done.
Well, I don't care what they say. I want to see it. The Royal Rumble at least shows you people drawing their number out.
Yeah.
They don't show you the number until later, but they show you pick something out.
Mm-hmm. So, you start with Bayley and Alicia Fox, and Bayley pins Alicia with a roll-up. I think Alicia worked on Bayley's knee for a little bit.
Yeah, the only thing I've got is I expect quick matches because they've got 8 matches to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So expect quick ones.
Yeah, which led to Dana Brooke out next, who works on Bayley's knee more.
Don't expect much from Dana Brooke.
But Bayley...
That way you're not disappointed.
But Bayley pins Brooke with the Bayley to belly.
Although Brooke did look pretty good.
Yeah, she was fine.
I mean, it was short, but she did look pretty good, pretty intense.
But this next part was my favorite part of this whole gauntlet, was when it was Mickie James against Bayley. And I thought these two just worked fabulous together.
They did.
And Mickie worked the knee, and Bayley had her comebacks, and just really good back and forth, good action between them, I thought.
Early in the match, Bayley was, I guess, next to the ropes, leaning up against the ropes, and Mickie came to, I guess, do something, run towards her, and she ended up in the ropes.
Yeah.
And it looked like the ropes hit her in the crotch, because when she falls backwards, she grabs her crotch. And I mean, I rewound it. It doesn't really show it perfectly, but it does look like it hit her in the crotch. And I know she don't have what we got to be painful, but it still got hurt.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, it was real quick because right after that, Bayley pulled her up and, the match continued.
Yeah.
But it was, it looked like it hurt a little bit.
There was a point I did notice in this match, though, was where Bayley is, like, on the apron, and she, like, does the float over onto the turnbuckle, but she slips on the rope. And, like, from where I was watching it, I didn't think that she meant to do that. I think she actually slipped. But she was so quick because she just sold her knee there instead. So it made it fit within the story.
Gotcha.
And then they still ended up doing what they were aiming to do, which was Mickie comes in and then Bayley fights her off, and then Bayley does the move from the top rope. So I thought that might have been like an on the fly moment.
Could have been. Played off.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be.
And Mickie does eventually end up taking advantage of Bayley's knee and hits her with the jumping DDT thing that she does.
Is that a McDDT or
McDDT? Mickey McDouble DDT.
I thought it was a McDT, but I'm not sure. A Mickey DT? I don't know.
It's some sort of
wordplay
like that.
It looked botched a little bit.
Why is that?
It just way
she kind of hung up there for a minute.
Yeah, just the way Bayley landed, the way Mickie picked her up, it just looked off.
Yeah. I
mean, if you rewatch just that one move, it's off. Something's wrong. But it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I've seen worse by Charlotte Flair, so
yeah. We had Ember Moon out next, who would put Mickie away eventually with the Eclipse.
There's reason to point to this match. I mean, Mickie James should have just left as soon as Ember Moon came out.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as that bell rang, the match was over.
Practically. And next is Natalya, who will eventually pin Ember with a roll-up.
But you see that big, the discus clothesline by Natty?
Was it like in the corner?
It was outside of the corner.
Okay.
But man, that was a huge clothesline that I haven't seen from Natty in a while. Usually, when she does her discus clothesline, it barely knocks the person down.
Yeah.
Well, this one turned Ember inside out.
Because the spin somehow adds more torque to it.
Well, I don't know about that, but she hit.
Well, why else would she do it?
Because her daddy was a shot putter.
It makes no sense physics-wise.
No, not at all. But it looked painful. It looked like she hit hard.
I do remember that now, actually, and it's just an Ember's selling of it.
Oh really. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just the way it's sold, but it makes it look.
It makes it look better. Yeah. Definitely.
So props to Ember on that one.
Yep. Ember is very good, even though she never has a storyline on this show, and she gets pinned here on a roll-up by Natalya.
But she doesn't need a storyline. Because she still comes out anyway.
Yeah.
She's on TV. You don't need a storyline if you're seen every week.
That's the logic, huh?
Well, think about it. No storyline, no TV. She has no storyline, but she's still on TV.
That's a fair point.
She's still in people's minds because she's being seen.
Yeah. Then Ruby comes out, and Natalya beats Ruby with a roll-up.
Yeah, not impressed with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Ruby.
Roll-up city in some of these.
Yeah.
And the final match was Natty versus Sasha Banks.
It's boss time.
Yeah.
Sorry, had a cold moment.
Oh, man. We'll never grow tired of hearing that, right?
I won't.
It's just a thing to laugh at.
I did choose Natty to win, but I actually really thought Sasha was going to win.
Yeah,
I thought
they made you think that here in the end here. There were so many... Like, Sasha had so many transitions to get into the bank statement out of the roll-up and out of...
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, everything. It was nice. Reversal after reversal.
Yeah.
Counter after counter. It was great. I was not expecting her to tap.
Yeah, so eventually Natalya manages to get Sasha and the sharpshooter, cinches it in deep, and Sasha taps out. I
was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the sharpshooter. Nobody taps out of that anymore.
No.
I mean, really, it's like any finisher. It doesn't finish them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do much favors for Sasha, who enters last and still ends up tapping out. But
True.
The match went on for a bit, and it was a good match. But I would say it was the second best part of this.
I don't know if I'd want to see a Sasha Banks go against Rousey.
Not right now. Because
think about it. Okay, Sasha Banks wins. She's champion, right? The next week on Raw, she's going to lose it. She cannot defend her title to save her title.
Yeah.
So why would she win it? Why would she win the match to go against Rousey? There's no point. Natty is her friend. Natty and Rousey have a little bit of chemistry. Kind of like the Naomi Asuka match we'll get into.
Yeah, I mean,
the spirit of competition.
I've been waiting. I figured that eventually Natty and Ronda would have their match, man. We're finally going to see it, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be on normal TV, so it's not going to be the greatest.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean,
it should be okay.
Yeah, well, Natty is a fine worker, and Ronda is terrific in every way possible, and she comes out and embraces with Natalya, shakes her hand, hugs...
I was really hoping she'd clothesline her or something.
Yeah.
Just something. I mean, set it up for next week. Don't, you won. Congratulations. Yay.
Yeah.
No, set it up.
Well, they want them both to be baby faces right now.
You can be a baby face and still jack somebody in their jaw.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a bit different.
I mean, they should have done something.
Yeah.
But overall, what do you think?
I thought it was a fine show.
I'd have to put it up there in the top few of the year.
Yeah, I think that speaks more to...
It speaks more to what they've done in the past year, not to this episode.
The only Raw I can think of that I would say has been the best this year was way back...
After Mania.
The go-home show to Elimination Chamber.
Oh.
Do you remember they did the gauntlet, similar to this show. They did the gauntlet match with all of the men in the Elimination Chamber, and it was the first 2 hours of Raw, and Seth Rollins started the match and went like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he beat Roman Reigns and John Cena in the first
Elias
2 matches.
won, I think. Because the winner got to come in last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think it was Elias that won.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, but that whole thing and Rollins' performance in that match was ridiculous and lovely.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good episode. This one, for the way wrestling and Raw has been for the past several months, you could not ask for a better show than what Monday was.
Yeah.
Not compared to how it's been. It's like we got a whole new creative writing team.
Yeah, this was fun. I mean, there were a lot of dead spots and
you know what they should do?
Things that we've seen before.
Go to local high schools in the towns that they're in and contract the damn local high schoolers to write a script. Just to see how they do. And see what ideas they come up with that WWE could use.
What a fascinating idea.
Because obviously the creative team they have is stale. And they're just stuck in a recycle, copy, and paste mode.
Well, it just comes down to Vince. And
that's true, too.
The writers can come up with whatever they want. I mean, Vince chooses what stays and what goes.
And that's true. But then again, that's what house shows are for, too. They try a lot of stuff out on house shows that you don't see on TV or on the network.
Yeah.
Because this way, if it works at a house show, they know they can do that on TV and it'll work.
Right.
But if it don't work, they're not going to waste the time or the money to do it on a televised episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Still a good episode.
Yeah, it was one of the better. I mean, compared to the last 3 or 4 weeks, it was a godsend.
Compared to the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I mean, particularly the last month in this dead area between Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. There's always that dead area.
Yeah, I get it. I can see that. Not too bad.
All right, well, shall we move on to SmackDown? Yeah, so we start off right away with there's a backstage meeting sort of thing.
Yes.
And that's where we get the official word that Paige is no longer SmackDown general manager.
Boo!
Yeah.
I like Paige.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I liked what Paige was doing. But
I mean, she really didn't do a lot, but she was fair.
Yeah, she was a fine on-screen authority figure.
Yeah, I mean, for an on-screen authority figure, she was fair and pretty much down the middle. She didn't really play sides.
Yeah, other than that, Shane pretty much just reiterated what they said on Raw Monday.
And
with the listening to the audience and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Now, I disagree. Yeah, he said Paige wasn't GM, but she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, the rumor mill is she's going to have she's going to be a pre-show panelist like Booker T.
Yeah.
Bullshit. She is too talented to be stuck on a pay-per-view pre-show.
Yeah, I agree.
I know she can't wrestle and take bumps, but you can at least be a valet and manager.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to take a bump to be a manager. You can still be, if you want to be a heel, you can still interfere. Grab a foot under the rope or something. Just be a distraction.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something there for other than that they could have done. But, yeah. The start in ring, though, is where Becky comes out, pissed off, of course.
Oh, of course.
Ronda costed her the title 2 nights ago at TLC, which led to Charlotte coming out. Except she doesn't appear as pissed off. She's smiling.
Yeah.
Becky was full on pissed.
But I mean, that's just Becky grasping her new persona.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yes. And Charlotte comes out and they argue about who is going to get to face Ronda first. And then Asuka comes out. And she just simply says, "Forget about Ronda. Asuka is the champion now."
Yeah.
And Charlotte and Becky both say they didn't beat her. And then Vince McMahon comes out.
And I was so happy to see Vince McMahon slumming it on SmackDown. Because it's very rare he shows up on SmackDown.
No, not since the Kevin Owens thing they did.
I mean, it's been what, twice this year that he's been on SmackDown?
Well, I think the Kevin Owens thing was last year.
Well, I thought he was on SmackDown earlier this year.
Maybe he was.
Around the draft area.
Maybe. I don't remember. But nonetheless, Vince says both Becky and Charlotte are making excuses for themselves. Says it's unbecoming of them. And Vince asks Asuka if she wants to defend her title tonight. And that is when Naomi comes out and says Charlotte and Becky have had their chances, and she wants the chance tonight.
And she deserves it. I mean, she hasn't even been in the title picture in over a year. And she's a former champion.
Yeah, for a good while.
I mean, it was, SummerSlam last year.
Yeah, I can hardly remember what time frame it was that she was champion.
I only know that because they said it.
Okay. So Vince gives the match to Naomi, and the match starts next.
Yes.
So we had Asuka and Naomi, which I thought was a good little back and forth match. Good TV opener. Went good 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see Naomi win just because I think she does deserve it.
Yeah, just not the time, though.
Exactly, not the time. And like I put, we all know it won't happen because Asuka just got it.
Yeah.
So they've got to be a setup for an actual match.
Yeah.
They're not going to let Asuka lose 48 hours later.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was good stuff, and it gets Naomi more purpose. She had a good match with the champion. She had a purpose of being on television, which was nice, is that we just started right away with the championship match.
Yeah, I mean, even though anybody in their right mind knew Naomi was going to lose,
yeah,
it was still
fine.
That's fine. It was a good way to start the show.
Yeah, so Asuka eventually puts her away with the Asuka lock at some point after Naomi did the split leg moonsault, but Asuka got the knees up. And
yeah. Now, this was the second time that she put in the Asuka lock.
Yeah. I didn't really like that, though, is that I like it better. Like, I had this problem with Ronda early, too, is that I feel like when that thing's on, it should be over. Like, you can... Well, with Ronda's armbar, the problem was that you had people like Stephanie blocking it.
Yeah.
And in this case, like, when Asuka gets that thing on, I feel like it should be game over.
But the first time it was on, I don't think she actually had it locked in.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
that's kind of what I thought.
It didn't look like it was totally locked in until, the second time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the first time, I mean, her arms wasn't even wrapped that well.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good thing about that move, is that she can hit you with it out of nowhere.
And she did.
And just get you wrapped up.
But it was a good, fun match.
Yeah.
Just to have.
Just a fun match to start a show with.
But isn't it funny how next week on Raw we've got best friends Natalya and Ronda Rousey. And then this week on SmackDown we've got friends Asuka, champion.
You know the funny thing
Naomi.
Is that during this, and until you just mentioned that, I totally forgot any alliance that Naomi and Asuka had.
There was like a good, 3 weeks where they were
against the
Iconics. Back. Yeah, against against the Iconics, you don't need both of them.
That completely slipped my mind.
It's just kind of funny how both on SmackDown and Raw next week that friends are going to go against friends for their title match.
Well, that's what most of WWE storylines are based around in the women's division, as friends.
Well, but it's still usually face versus heel.
Yeah. Normally one of them turns on the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So, we had Miz backstage.
Oh my god, this segment was just, wow, out there.
More of this ridiculousness as he knocks on, what was it, the McMahon family dressing room?
Yeah.
Which has, there's too many jokes to make there. And Vince, or Miz wants Shane, but he gets Vince instead. And he asks Vince for his blessing to be Shane's partner.
Yeah, partner.
And Vince says, blessing? I've never given anyone a blessing in my life.
Yeah.
But I don't doubt that either.
I don't either. He probably is that much of a dick, which I love.
Yeah. And Vince says he'll give Miz a chance to prove himself in a tag team match tonight. And at first he's like, he'll let Miz find his own partner. But then at the end, as he's like leaving, he's like, no, I'll find the partner for you.
Yeah.
And
now, when you're watching this, did you have any ideas on partners or opponents?
I wasn't even thinking about what it could be, and I certainly would not have guessed what it ended up being.
Well, no, not at all. But I mean, I'm just picturing, like, who would you team the Miz up with? Honestly. I mean, if you were to team him up with somebody and make it believable, who would you team him up with?
Almost, maybe.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
The new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, you could have done Daniel Bryan.
But, I mean, to me, that kind of ruins the feud they had.
Yeah, but I don't know. In some ways, they're on similar wavelength now, I guess.
But then again, the Miz is transforming into face.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly, yes.
We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had Jeff Hardy come out because it was promoted as a Samoa Joe apology.
Yeah.
And Jeff Hardy comes out and he says he wants to see this firsthand. And, I noted here that as Jeff Hardy is entering, he does the little, the dance he does with the floppy wrist and all that.
Yeah.
And you can hear him singing his own theme song.
Oh, yeah.
He's going, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, he might be too drunk or high on pills to remember what he's supposed to do. No, I had to. Just going along with Samoa Joe, I had to.
Chris just got heel heat.
Yeah, I did. And that's okay because, well, at least we got some kind of heat on this show.
Yeah, so Samoa Joe comes out and he apologizes because this isn't an apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry this isn't a sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no shit.
And Samoa Joe instead says that this is an intervention.
Which I thought was funny.
And Jeff, the line here at the end is that Jeff tells Joe that he attacks everyone else's weaknesses to mask his own insecurities. And he points out that maybe one of them is that he's been here for 2 years and hasn't won a single title.
And I disagree with that because a lot of people's been there for longer than 2 years without a title.
Yeah.
And they don't have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time R-Truth had a title? Ever?
Let's see. The last time R-Truth had a title.
There was only one. It's been so long ago, there was only one title.
Let's see. I remember he had... Do you remember he had a championship match against John Cena on pay-per-view?
I do.
Capital Punishment.
Yes.
The one-off pay-per-view.
Yeah, I didn't know the name. I didn't remember the name, but I knew they had a match.
Yeah. What a name for a show, right?
Yeah.
Like the geniuses in marketing.
Thank you, Vince McMahon, for saying yes.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time R-Truth had a championship.
Exactly, but you know what? He's a damn good worker.
Yeah.
He's entertaining as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So why not give him a shot at something?
Yeah, and that's what you're saying here with Joe is that he has not won a title, but
yeah.
Joe has also not even won a feud, essentially, since he's been on the main roster.
He hasn't even won a pay-per-view match, has he?
He hasn't won a singles pay-per-view match since some point in 2017.
Okay, so probably since he debuted on the main roster.
Yeah, and even then, I don't think it's many.
Maybe one.
I think he might have beaten Seth Rollins in one of their matches, and then Seth later beat him later on.
I believe it. I'll go with that.
Yeah. But, yeah, so Joe tries to attack Jeff, but gets a twist of fate instead, and that ends the segment.
Which, that twist of fate, Joe didn't sell very well.
No?
Because when Hardy went down with it, all Joe did was bend down. Like a stunner.
Yeah, but that's how Jeff has been doing it lately. Is that...
Because, the twist of fate, your opponent should be on their stomach, you should be on your back.
Yeah, but he's done it differently.
Oh, is that what he's
recently,
doing?
Because he's been landing in the stunner position lately.
Well, because he landed on his back.
Yeah, so...
This time.
I didn't even notice it, but I'm assuming what happened was that because Jeff had been doing it the other way, that Joe assumed that was what he was going to do. And then Jeff ended up landing on his back, and Joe was just standing straight up.
Yeah, because all Joe did was, bend over, and that was it. And it was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Come on, it's a Charlotte Flair moonsault.
Yeah, I definitely do recall that Jeff has been doing it like that, though, lately, where he lands on his ass.
I haven't really been paying attention, just because, I twist of fate, I know what's coming.
Yeah,
so I don't really pay attention. I just happened to pay attention when watching it, and it was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like a stunner, pretty much. It's the fate of a stunner.
Yeah. And so, continue to build the eventual Jeff and Joe match, which I'm cool with. They've put time into this, so
yeah.
Hopefully the payoff will be good.
I hope so, because they really have put a lot of time in this. Weeks worth.
I still assume that Jeff is going to win, though.
You have to,
because it would kind of make sense for Joe to win because he's newer and there's more to gain with him, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to make much difference.
No. The only thing that I could see him doing is letting Joe win, and then he can continue the storyline, but, that's what happens when you're using drugs and alcohol. You can't perform like you're supposed to. If they're going to continue that storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. And,
right now there's just no telling. It's just me and you guessing.
Yeah. So we have Miz coming to the ring for his tag team match. And to his surprise...
And my surprise.
And our surprise, they announce before the entrance that, as Miz is in the ring, that this is a mixed tag team match.
Yes.
And out comes Mandy Rose.
Which, I love her entrance.
Yeah, with the little,
the camera goes blurry on the outside. Yeah. It just makes it look like you're high but focused. But I don't know. I thought
which for you is what it normally looks like anyway.
Which, yeah, that's true. I'll give you that one. Now you know what I see every match. But it was good to see Mandy. I was kind of disappointed Sonya Deville wouldn't come out with her.
Oh yeah,
they are. Last I knew they were still friends and teaming. Yeah. And every time one came out, the other came out.
Yeah.
So it just made me think either A, something's going on with that, or B, it's a mixed match challenge, so there's no point in her being out there.
Yeah. Possibly.
But either way, she looked good.
Yeah. She always does.
I give Corey that. He's got good taste in women, at least.
Corey on commentary when Mandy Rose comes out is so ridiculous.
It's funny as hell.
Because he is so over the top.
Oh my gosh, she looked at me!
Yeah, that was after the match.
After the match. Oh my god, she looked at me!
Because they cut to the commentary table.
Yeah.
And Graves is like a giddy schoolgirl. And he's like crouching closer to Tom Phillips.
Extremely
and was like,
uncomfortably
close. At me. And Phillips is just like, why are you so close to me?
I know. I thought that was one of the best segments of the night, personally.
That was pretty funny.
Just that few minutes right there was one of the best parts of the night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you looked at me!
So, after that, R-Truth and Carmella come out, and R-Truth says he's excited for their match against Miz and Maurice.
Yes, which we've been there before.
Yeah, that was the same thing with
which he called Carmella Maurice.
Yeah, that's what started their tag team. It was
I know.
He told Maurice 2 that Maurice 1 was talking trash about her.
I thought it was really cool.
And now we have Mandy as Maurice 3.
But that's okay. I mean, I think it's funny.
We're going to have more Maurices than Marine movies soon.
Maybe that's what they're trying to get up to.
Yeah, so...
It was funny, though.
Yeah, the match itself, there wasn't much to it.
Yes, there was. There was a dance break.
The dance break leads to the finish, too.
Yes.
Which is Mandy Rose. I think she takes like a kick from Carmella, and they go outside the ring, and that leads to Miz coming from behind, getting the skull-crushing finale on Truth for the win.
And I have to say, I hated it.
Why? Because R-Truth and Carmella lost?
Because I think it's a bullshit way to treat Truth and Carmella after winning
they just won
the Mixed Match Challenge 2 days ago.
That's a fair complaint.
I mean, here you let them win this 12-week round-robin Mixed Match Challenge tournament.
And then 2 days later,
after
they lose on
every
TV.
match until the last 1 or 2. And then they're going to win that, and then they're going to come to SmackDown for a 5-minute bullshit match where they lose.
Yeah.
To me, they totally ruined the whole ending of the Mixed Match Challenge.
That's fair.
But, I mean, I guess I can say that because I watched it.
Yeah, when I saw it, I didn't really care.
Exactly. For somebody that didn't watch the Mixed Match Challenge every week like me, you wouldn't know and wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But I don't see how they could let them lose after just winning.
It does make it seem like a joke.
It really does. I mean, either they're making a joke out of the Mixed Match Challenge or out of the Fabulous Truth, period.
Yeah. Which would be guilty by association because they're the winners of the Mixed Match Challenge. Yeah. So, yeah, it does make that tournament look not good.
Yeah, it kind of...
Pointless.
It kind of tarnished it for me.
Yeah.
But I'll still watch it.
We had Usos come out, and they won a match with the Bar, I guess.
Oh, why not? We've only seen it every fucking week.
And instead, we got some good brothers.
Yeah.
Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows come out, and they say that they haven't been on TV since August. Which is 4 months.
I don't think it's been that long.
I think it has. Like,
when did they do that, like the 10-man elimination tag match?
Okay.
SmackDown vs. Raw?
Yeah, that was just Survivor Series.
Yeah, so. They were on TV. Now, that was pay-per-view, not TV.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because they were on
But TV. They were in that match.
Yeah, but they weren't on...
the pre-show match, even.
But they just haven't been like on TV on weekly episodes. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. So
but it was good to see them, though.
Yeah. So they get a match with the Usos, and somewhere in the middle of this, Sheamus and Cesaro come down the ramp, but then out from wherever come Sanity, who also haven't been on TV at all.
In a while, since Survivor Series.
Yeah, and before that, nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And Nikki Cross is supposed to come up
and
next.
She was part of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully...
maybe they'll team them up.
Yeah, hopefully they get back together, and maybe that can light a new existence under this group.
Okay.
But Sanity comes out, and they take out the Usos and Gallows and Anderson. And then after that, Cesaro and Sheamus beat up the Usos more.
Yeah. Now, in the beginning of this match, you may not have noticed it because it happened really quick.
Mm-hmm.
The ref. Did you see that ref slide halfway across the ring when he slid in?
Okay, yeah.
In the very beginning, when the ref came to the ring, he ran to the ring and slid in.
Because it was just like, this match is official now.
Yeah. And he runs to the ring, and he slides halfway across that damn ring. And I'm just like, what the hell happened? That's something John Cena does.
Oh, he did, like, the reverse Rey Mysterio slide.
But, I mean, I've never seen a ref go halfway across the ring. I mean, that dude just slid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was fun to watch. I watched it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
It was fun to just watch that ref go, wee!
Here's something you might have some input on, is that Nakamura responds to a Rusev interview from earlier. I
skipped Nakamura because I can't understand what he's saying. It's hard for me. His accent's too thick.
But he shows footage of Rusev from Total Divas.
Yes, I did see that part.
And Nakamura didn't really say much.
And the sad part is, yeah, he showed clips of Rusev on Total Divas that kind of showed him in a different light.
Yeah.
But you have to watch the episode to understand, get the context of that clip that he showed. Because what he showed doesn't show the whole context of how it should be taken.
Okay.
Just, if you want to know, go back and watch season 2 or whatever this last season was. Okay. Season 12.
Well, what was the context of Rusev mowing his lawn in a Speedo?
Oh, that he just liked to do. Okay. I remember that episode. He's just out there mowing his yard in his underwear. And that it wasn't a Speedo, it was his underwear.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. See,
and what was the other thing? He was like grilling naked?
Yes, he was grilling naked. And that was just because it's America, why not?
Yeah, that's what he said too. Like, this is America. You should be able to do whatever you want.
But I mean,
he channeled his Randy Marsh. I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
I mean, yeah, they showed some clips of him, but you really should watch Total Divas to understand the context.
I would only watch Total Divas for Rusev.
I'll tell you what, him and Lana
exclusive
really made the show better this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't show a whole lot of Maurice and Miz, but they had their own show.
So can they get like their own spin-off, like the Rusevs? Total Rusevs?
Total Rusev. Well, I don't know. That just wouldn't be cool sounding.
I mean, the Bellas got their own show.
But this is the Bellas. I mean, Nikki produces and directs Total Divas.
Yeah, but Rusev is cooler.
Well, I'm not denying that. But see, at the time, John Cena was in the picture, so Total Divas, it made sense to have the Bellas in charge.
Mm-hmm.
They're with the top 2 guys of the company.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Rusev and Lana spinoff.
Yeah, it'd be
Rusev
fun.
Days, and I mean DAZE.
I would watch it.
That'd be cool.
So we had our main event tag team match with Daniel Bryan teaming with Andrade Cien Almas against Mustafa Ali, who is now a full-time SmackDown superstar.
Okay, yeah. He is a full-time. I forgot.
And he's teaming with AJ Styles.
I don't know why I wrote his name down as Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
I straight up said Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali isn't competing in 205 Live.
Wrong sport. Wrong generation.
Like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see.
And I don't understand it, because they even said his name several times, and I never caught it. And didn't even caught it till just now.
So, we have Mustafa Ali and AJ Styles teaming against Daniel Bryan and Andrade Cien Almas. Really good main event match.
It was. I don't know anything about Ali. I don't watch 205, so I didn't know really. I knew of him.
Yeah, and he's had a couple pay-per-view matches that you've seen.
Like I saw him last week with Daniel Bryan.
And
I was impressed.
Yeah, that was a good match.
I mean, I expected a lot of hard-hitting but fast-paced action, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah, he had the match at WrestleMania this year against Cedric Alexander.
Well, that was a 205 match.
Yeah.
So I didn't really pay attention to the match at all.
Okay. Ali is a good guy to have on the main roster, and it seems like they're putting him right toward the top.
And, I mean, even if they don't put him in, like, a title picture, he's main event status already.
Yeah.
Just because he's in the main event on day 1.
Yeah, and they established that strong here because Ali has Bryan in position for his finisher, the reverse 450.
The 054?
Yeah, which I still have no idea how it's physically possible.
045?
No, 54. You had it right.
Okay.
And Andrade tries to take him down, but AJ comes in and takes out Andrade with the phenomenal forearm. And Mustafa Ali puts away the champion, Daniel Bryan, with his reverse 450, 054, and he pinned him.
Surprised.
Right?
Shocked. It even looked like AJ Styles was a little surprised.
I don't know. And right away, it's just, I don't know if you want to say that it hurts Bryan a little bit, but I would say that the establishment it gives Mustafa Ali is worth that. Because it puts him right in the thick of things.
I don't think it really hurt Bryan because it was a tag match.
Yeah.
So you could pin Bryan all day long in tag matches and it won't hurt him.
Yeah.
It's the singles matches that will do that.
Right.
But, Ali just impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah. He was really good here.
Between last week and this week, and really never watching him before.
Yeah.
To me, it was like watching a young Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite as high-flying, but still a young Mysterio.
Yeah, and he's capable of doing a lot of those things. And
I'm sure.
And I don't know. There's always been something about Ali that I felt like would translate well on this stage. It's mostly him and Cedric. Cedric, I still think can and should be a world champion at some point. And
who's been around longer? Ali or...
They both came in at the same time in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, okay.
And Buddy Murphy, I also think, has a spot on the main roster.
It's almost time for him to bump up.
Yeah, he's...
Maybe come...
He's still doing the... He's still the champion over there.
Well, that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Other people have been called up while they're the champion. They just have to lose the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's mostly with NXT, though.
Yeah.
And now we have the 205 Live.
But I consider 205 like the NXT for little people.
Yeah, that's fair. This is the first time they've really moved someone from, except the Lucha House Party, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
From 205 Live to the main show.
But technically, Lucha House Party could kind of be grandfathered in because the Lucha Dragons were already on there.
Yeah.
And Kalisto was still on there. So he just brought his friends.
Yeah.
Kind of like grandfathered in, I guess.
Yeah. They're missing Sin Cara, though.
He's still out, though, with an injury.
Yeah.
I heard he's coming back soon.
Is he still there?
Well, one of the Sin Caras is. There's been 4 different ones.
Yeah, the Hunico is the current one, right?
Oh, hell, I don't know. I don't keep up with them. I just know that since Sin Cara, 12.
Yeah, I remember the first one ended up being a huge flop, and that's why they switched him.
Now, the first one, that's the one that came in with the trampoline, and I like that.
And the lights. He had the lights during his match. It was, different.
Yeah, I didn't care for the lights, but I did like the entrance.
Yeah, and...
Because, how is he jumping from the ground?
He just became a joke, though, because he routinely botched things.
Yeah.
And he... I think the melting point for him was when he had a match on TV and he did a suicide dive or a tope or whatever, and he I think it was he dislocated his finger because his finger hits the guy while he's diving and he jams it and dislocates it or whatever, and he immediately calls to the ref and has the match stopped. And a lot of people say that's when he lost respect from everyone there because he didn't try to finish the match.
It was a fucking finger. Come on. It's not like a concussion or even a broken nose.
You see him immediately. He waves to the ref get over here.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's not PG.
I know, that's why I said it quietly. I bet you won't even hear it on the podcast.
Oh, we'll see.
You might have to edit that out.
Oh, well.
Wait.
I don't edit.
We don't have to edit. It's our show.
Yeah, so that was the end of this. And the end of... I had to watch all of this in a 24-hour window, and it just felt so crammed, but I did it.
It felt crammed because you had to watch all of it at once.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it was a damn good show.
Mm-hmm. A good 3 shows in a row.
I mean, I do hope this is the direction that they're moving.
Yeah.
With what's happened on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Because it's almost like they're listening to our podcast with a lot of the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
We covered.
They're listening to the people, they say.
But it really makes it, I mean, I know they're not listening to us, but it makes it seem like it because we're talking about the same shit they're changing.
Maybe they're listening to someone else, though.
That's using our show.
Yeah.
Hey, I can say that. Don't mean it's true.
Yeah. It is America.
America.
We can grill outside naked and we can say whatever we want.
At least until you offend somebody and that becomes illegal in state law.
Yeah, so.
All right. Closing moments?
Yeah, I'll briefly touch on, my nice trip to Pittsburgh.
Who did they play?
The Steelers played the Patriots on Sunday, the game I was at.
Did they lose?
No, they won. It was the first time the Steelers beat the Patriots since 2011.
Oh, nice.
And they won 17-10. Just a really good defensive game. And it was so fun to be there because towards the end, on that last 2 minutes, when the Patriots have the ball and they're trying to tie the game, I have never heard anything so loud in the stadium. And
that's crazy because that's an open stadium too.
It is. Yep. It was ridiculous.
It was probably ridiculously cold too.
It wasn't as cold as you'd think in December. It was high 30s.
Well, that's not horrible.
Yeah, I was expecting worse. And there was no snow or anything the whole time I was there.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
That would have made it worse.
Yeah. So, it was a fun time there. And unfortunately, wasn't able to do a podcast. But
yeah,
we'll be on track now for a while because I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I think we're both good until April.
Yeah, and we will still be recording then.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking up cage side seats for any rumors to close the show. And Bray Wyatt will be working Raw live events after Christmas.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
That's another nice thing is that we kind of mentioned that they pre-taped the shows this week, and
yes,
because Raw will be on Christmas Eve and SmackDown will be on Christmas Day, I believe.
Now Raw should be live, honestly. Actually, they should both be live. They don't need to tape. It's SmackDown live, not SmackDown taped.
Oh, I disagree so much. For this week,
if you're gonna, honestly, they should take the week off. Honestly.
Yeah, but they have the whole longest weekly running
episodic
show.
So show highlights.
Yeah,
of Raw and highlights of SmackDown.
Yeah, you can do it other ways, but I don't mind them taping it at all. And it's just not something that I put value in, and I'm happy for those guys that last year they did the change where they worked Christmas and they worked Christmas Eve. And
yeah,
it's with the schedule those guys have, they hardly see their families anyway, and it's good for them to have those holiday days.
And that's why they should just take the whole thing off. Don't tape anything because, as we know, I can already tell you what happens next week because of it being taped.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Not to me.
It's just if you don't want to see what happens, you don't have to look at it.
Well, it's not that easy when I'm just scrolling through Facebook and it pops up.
And it's it's a Christmas Day and Christmas Eve show, so it's the ratings that week are a wash anyway because they're not expecting a ton of people to watch those days anyway. So it being pre-taped, I don't think is going to hurt that much.
Nah, I just don't like it. Just maybe personal preference.
Yeah. That's because you're a dick that doesn't care about...
That's true.
That doesn't care about these people's time with their families.
Well, no, I do. That's why they should have the whole week off.
But they do have the whole week off because
don't tape something. Don't make me think that they're working. You can't tell me it's SmackDown Live.
Well, the difference is if they did they had in the probably the 90s or 80s maybe is when they did SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium, and that was on like a full day tape delay. But nobody knew because there wasn't an internet.
Well, exactly. There was no internet to spoil it, so nobody knew.
Yeah.
Well, the internet is here to spoil shit.
Yep.
Apparently, there's a question about Nakamura's status with WWE.
Because his contract is coming up.
Okay, according to Meltzer, he's not going back to Japan.
Yeah. I mean, I never expected him to go back to Japan because I just don't see him working that style and the age he's in. Like, I think he came to WWE to have an easier schedule.
But I don't see him being around WWE very much longer, honestly, because they're not utilizing him.
Yeah, but I think
title for half a year.
Genuinely, I think Nakamura is getting what he wants because he's
the Brock Lesnar of SmackDown. He wants to still get paid to wrestle, but he doesn't want to work the Japan style of wrestling that killed his body. And I get that, but I mean they rarely use him.
Yeah,
he's a champion. He should be on TV weekly.
Yeah.
You want that title on TV.
Yeah. I don't know. I see Nakamura as someone like he looks at it. I think he'll look at it as I've worked so hard so I can get to this point where I don't have to work as hard.
But you haven't done shit in WWE. You worked hard your career. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. But if you come to WWE, you're starting on the bottom.
Yeah.
You may have worked hard, but you still got to work to prove that you belong.
Yeah.
Just because you signed that contract don't mean you belong there. How many people have we seen come and go?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
I mean, I understand you worked hard. He had a great career in Japan, from what I've read.
Yeah, he's a hero there.
Yeah. But he hasn't done really anything since signing with WWE. And moved.
Yeah, I mean, he's had his moments. Like
he's had a few moments.
Some of the AJ matches were good.
But, I mean,
his match with Cena was good.
Yeah, I mean, he does have good matches. I'll give him that. But you have to get him to have a match to have a good one.
Yeah. It's not all on him, though.
No, it's not all on him. It's all creative.
Yeah.
And I get that. But it's making him look bad to us.
Yeah.
To the watcher.
Hey, I mean, he has the match with Rusev next week on SmackDown. So
yeah, and that'll be a good one.
Yeah. No spoilers.
Nope.
But we'll cover it next week.
Paige was taken out of the SmackDown manager role so she can promote her movie that's coming out in February.
Okay.
Fighting with My Family.
Yeah.
With The Rock.
The Rock. Yep.
But it actually looks... I've seen commercials and previews. It looks like a really good show.
I'm sure it will be. I just remember when they were advertising it at WrestleMania. And
yeah, that was a little too far in advance.
Paige just comes up, hey, Paige here.
Yeah.
With, like, the weirdest looks on her face.
The only other rumor I've got here is there are plans to shoot segments of the Fabulous Truth inside the headquarters to play along with the Mixed Match Challenge.
That'll be nice.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little closure on it. Yeah. You know? I mean, they do get sent anywhere in the world they want to go. You'd think they'd have a camera with them anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure R-Truth will have some good comedy stuff.
You know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Just makes you wonder when they're going to do it.
Yeah. But I guess that's it.
I think that's going to be about it for our weekly doohickey.
Yeah. We've gone a little over 2.5 hours.
Right, that's not bad for what? 9 hours of wrestling. Well, 9 hours of show to cover. An hour and a half of wrestling in 9 hours.
Yep. But we did it. We made it.
That's not too bad. And that's awesome because now you got just enough time to go home and change for work.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably have this up
probably tomorrow.
Early tomorrow. Or late tonight.
I would say unless you're up late tonight.
Yeah, well, whatever the case may be. But thank you all for listening. As always, leave us a damn 5-star review.
Somebody, leave us a 1-star. I don't care. Leave us a review. Preferably not 1 star.
Preferably 5 stars, but...
I'm not going to be picky. I'm not going to beg for ratings.
iTunes, link in the description. Get us a review. Get us started.
Yeah.
Chris will call you on air. We'll talk to you. We'll We'll praise you. We'll praise your name to.
We might send you a stick of bubble gum.
Yeah.
Or something.
We'll appreciate it.
Maybe an autographed picture of us. I don't know why you would want that, but we'll send it to you.
I don't feel like paying the postage for that.
That's true. We're not monetized yet. Never mind. That'll have to wait.
Yeah. But until next week,
we will wrestle you later.